Welcome. You are listening to the Culture Climate on the Sister Speak show. The Culture Climate, where we are covering conversations that some are afraid to have in the village, that include controversial conversations discussing the enemies, the enemies, frenemies, as well as what's going on in the village all around the world. I am your host, Sister Speak, and you are in fact listening to the Sister Speak show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. A talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Sister, spiritual inspiration shared through the arts. Sister, spiritual inspiration shared through Ayana, but you already know. Call me Sister Speak. What's happening, brothers and sisters? It is 3 minutes after 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm recording from Dallas, Texas, and everything is going up because anything going down is crashing. I want to thank you for adding the Sister Speak show to your listening shuffle and allowing us to be the flavor in your ear. You made a great decision by choosing to listen to this episode, and we hope that you will find other episodes that we have in our pretty extensive catalog of episodes. To my first time listeners, welcome. And to my faithful listeners, hello, welcome. I thank y'all so much for being so faithful to the Sister Speak show. You mean so much to me. I want to send a shout out to all of my international listeners, as well as my national listeners from Texas, Virginia, North Carolina, Florida, Georgia, California. I see y'all. Also, I want to send a shout out to Israel. I really appreciate you all for tuning in. Kosovo. Who else did I see? Nambia, Sierra Leone. My goodness. So many different countries inside of Africa that are listening. And I thank you so much for, being faithful to the Sister Speak show. I really appreciate everybody. Okay. I hope you all are feeling well. I hope your vibrations are high. Okay. I hope you are encouraged, and I hope you are definitely standing in your power, not being dominated by the enemy, and that you are tapping into and activating your ability to be a warrior. That is crucial in this walk, in this journey. And this podcast is dedicated, towards helping you realize that you are powerful, that you are not to be dominated unrighteously, that you are to fulfill your destiny, that you are to walk in the predestination, that you will not allow your enemies to punk you. Okay, we expose so much. The Culture Climate is a very hot topic segment. This is the segment where, I hope this hasn't been bumping the entire time. If it has, I apologize, y'all. Hold on. Let me get it together. Let me mute this. Hold on, y'all. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Ooh, the struggle was real. Anyways, but it's really about you understanding that. Well, let me get back to the Culture Climate. Is a very hot topic segment. I did that twice. Segment, because of the boldness of the commentary and the specific topics that I choose to expose, okay? That really rattle the nerves of some people. Now, for those of you all who've been listening to me for some time, you already know. I don't care. I don't care if anybody is upset about me providing or exposing, okay? Well, first of all, providing solutions for the pollution, exposing the litter. I don't care if you get mad that I say there's trash on the floor and it needs to be put in the garbage. And this isn't and I am not one of those for semantics. We're not going to be trying to wiggle our way out of a conversation or an observance about trash and try to say, oh, well, it depends on what your definition of trash is. We ain't got time for those Pharisees. We don't have time for those type of people who are anti-panacea, anti-remedy, anti-healing, rising above our low vibrating energies, coming out of our old mind, transforming, renewing, and stepping into the power that is going to help us sustain ourselves in this wicked world, because the world is wicked. And you know it. I know it. And if anybody says that it is, well, once again, it depends on what your definition of wicked is. We already know what type of enemy we're dealing with. To my first time listeners, let me explain something to you. The Sister Speak Show Network is, first of all, slow down, Sister Speak. I'm so amped about this episode, y'all. I'm just trying to get to it. But I will give you the content that you came to listen to. I apologize. I don't apologize. Just bear with me. The Sister Speak Show Network is rated R for strong language, thoughts, and ideas. Prepare yourself. Put on your seatbelt. Get your water in your scuba gear. Water, because that is necessary for life, growth, healing, reflective power. It is what you need in order to withstand the wiles of the enemy, along with your whole armor. Scuba gear, because we dive deep. I don't want you to get lost. I don't want you to be lost at sea. We go into leagues of the sea that some are afraid to actually submerge into, but not us. We're diving, and we don't want you to be left behind, okay? No warrior left behind. That's crucial, crucial, crucial. Now, this is for those who listen to my show and you steal content. It's like, I don't know how you're making it when I don't post. I don't know how you're surviving when I don't create an episode. I know you're like, damn, I'm going to come up with some fuckery until she posts some content. I'm like, you guys are really, really basic. You got to get it together. You got to really see, the thing about it is I can harp on it, but at this point you're laughable. You're laughable. And I have no problem with somebody being righteously influenced, but if you are wickedly trying to imitate and bite off of me, and you know you don't like me, but you can't get enough of just listening to me, and then you try to incorporate how I do my show, you better check the records. This show goes all the way back to 2017. And then you better check the records again. My whole resume says I have been predestined to come on this microphone and do what I do. And I do it well, and I could do it way better. I have not arrived. But one thing I know is I know me when I hear me. Now, I'm not going to keep having to have this conversation with some of you basic people. But I see you. I see you. I hear you. Common categories of conversation, I don't mind. There are podcasts who I am united with in force, and we as a collective are going to get on your helmets about the same conversations. About the same topics. We're going to have common perspectives, and then we're going to have separate enlightened perspectives. And we are going to be bold on the front lines in the village and do our thing on our podcast. And you know who you are. Shout out to you. Keep on keeping your foot on the enemy's necks. But to those of you who want to be famous, to those of you who are arrogant, to those of you who are vain and have gotten lost in the sauce of why you're supposed to be using your spiritual gifts, you got an expiration date coming. Moving forward. Brothers and sisters and brothers. Tonight's episode on the Sister Speak Show is explosive. Explosive, explosive, explosive. No, this is not the first time that this conversation has, entered into the waves of podcasting or talk shows. But when Sister speaks, it's a different vibe. Brothers and sisters, tonight's episode on the culture climate. The danger on the other side. He seemed like a nice guy. Danger. The danger on the other side. He seemed like a nice guy. And you're looking at the flyer, right? I don't know why I call it a flyer, but you're looking at the cover photo. This is about interracial dating, interracial marriages, where it is a black woman, a woman of all shades of brown, and a white man. We're going there today. Whenever you're listening to it, we're there. Yes, this conversation is going to happen. If it ruffles any feathers, then I know I'm doing a great job. Listen, this is what it's about. It's about the assignment. I want an A plus. So I'm not going to half-ass this assignment because I really want an A plus. And I want my brothers and sisters, my sisters and my brothers in the village, all shades of brown people, to come forth and realize actuality, to break away from demented, ridiculous, disrespectful, unloyal thoughts and practices, also known as words and deeds, when it comes to who you are as a human and who you belong to as a human and where you come from as a human, and how detrimental, imperative it is to heal from emotional thoughts that have you concluding that things are one way when they're not, from being delusional from who you are, healing from broken hearts, staying true to who you are, no matter, healing from the environments that you have lived in, and getting to a sense of identity. There is a tremendous amount of work that needs to be done when it comes to the relationships between brothers and sisters, sisters and brothers. Love, marriage, liking, courting, all of these ingredients that are supposed to bring us together, right? That all of the ingredients that make us say, I respect you and you respect me. Being able to recognize without any type of belligerent verbiage or course of action towards the nations, but just saying, hey, this is the line. You're over there. We're over here. That's your side. This is my side. And we can cohabitate in a high vibration without all of this chaotic fuckery that has been going on for centuries. Because that's all it is. Chaotic fuckery, where there are so many people who have in our village who are disengaged from their identity, do not want to do the work, don't even want to learn their own history, satisfied with whatever history is given to them, and continuing to carry on the the non-factual history of who we are. For far too long, our sisters in the village, and yes, this could potentially be a two-part episode, but let me just stick to this because for far too long, our sisters in the village, some, have been living in a fairy tale land. A fairy tale land that has been projected to you from watching too much TV, too many movies, seeing it all work out and be so great and romantic on TV, movies, scripted love, scripted romance, and wanting that to be your actuality, and feeling that the only way you can have what was projected unto you is to go through a specific portal on the other side. You feel that the other side can only give love, hugs, kisses, hold hands, gifts, be loyal, be thoughtful, be dedicated, be true, protect. You feel like all of those attributes, characteristics of a black man cannot be found in a black man. They can only be found in a nation, a white man. That's not to say that those characteristics do not exist in a white man. In 10% of white men, that exists. The other 90%, danger. Danger. And even with the 10% of the white men that possess these characteristics, that's for they women. That's why I said this is a podcast that you need to be prepared for, because this episode is serious. I'm keeping it 100 with you. I have not yet said anything that is out of line, that is not true. And if you feel like I have, it's only because you're caught up in some shit. You are caught up in the romanticism of the projections, the romanticism that has been projected to you. And you have alienated yourself from the village. Now, I am not going to discredit anybody's journey. I'm not going to discredit whatever you had to experience. But I will discredit the bitterness. I will discredit the misery. I will discredit the hate. I will discredit the disloyalty. I will discredit the demented thoughts. I will discredit that. I don't care who you are, where you are right now listening to this episode as a sister. If you are caught up in believing that there is something better for you on the other side, you need to keep listening to this show. If you are part of the problem of perpetuating this propaganda and this bullshit about our black men, and engaging in the riotous acts against our black men in your thought, deed, and participation on the other side, then I'm speaking to you tonight, and that's just it. I'm speaking to you tonight because I am going to attack that which is attacking our people. There is nothing wrong with brown on brown love. All shades of brown, loving all shades of brown. No, nothing wrong at all. And if you are under the belief that black men are limited in functioning in a high vibration, then what about you? Because you need to heal, and so does a black man. Traumatized, both need to be healed. And you feel like your healing it will come from going to the other side, where you're not wanted. They accept me. You're not wanted. In most cases, you're tolerated. Somebody needs to say these things. You're tolerated. You're discussed. You not discussed as in disgust. You are discussed as it like they talk about like everybody is not going to necessarily say it to your face. But the eyes never lie. The body language never lies. A fake smile, a fake greeting, acting. And I have seen, and I've covered this topic before, excuse me, but I'm back at it again. Back at it again. I found some new clips, and it has to be discussed until we can make everything even. Now, some of you saying, well, are you being racist? Look. One thing about Sister Speak is I'm going to say what the fuck I got to say. I don't care what you say it is that I'm being. I really don't. Because we know bullies exist and we know bullshit exists. And you can't have a bully without bullshit. Don't get mad because I'm solid. Don't get mad because I'm true. Don't get mad because my middle name is Sojourner. Don't get mad because I can stay in the village and be loyal to the village. I've been on the other side. It ain't cool. Their women are for them, and we are for our men. And there should not be any qualms about that. The solution to the pollution is in the healing. It's in the communication. It's in the truths. It's in the agreement to say, let us move forward and heal collectively and individually. With that panacea being provided and actually taken, with you actually yielding to the prescription for what the fuck you're going through when it comes to being discombobulated in your understanding about black men, sister, is brown men, sister, is that, if you do the work, you won't end up on these news clips. Some of you are dating on the other side because it is a monetary relationship. And that is dangerous as well. Well, I'm just getting them back for all the years of slavery that they did. That ain't gonna fly, really. Tell that one to Jehovah. Tell that one to Yah. I know it's not my business. I know I can't be there when you give the account for your life, but I really want to hear you say that. And I just want to see the expression. All the angels and everybody like, did she just say that? No. We've got to stop justifying why we're with the other side. I've heard some black men say some really just like some things that are really demonic about why they're with white women. And I've heard white men say some demonic things about why they're with black women. Vice versa with, both sides have said some things that are really disrespectful and demonic. And you justify it based on history as to why you're doing what you're doing. And the shit is fucked up. And there's an expiration date for your fucked up mentality. Because your tribe is your tribe. And if you hate who you were born as, then you really need a lot of healing. A lot of you hate that you're black. And I'm just using the word black because that's just what in this Babylonian thing that we're in. A lot of you hate that. You hate it. You hate it. Maybe it's because of the color. Maybe it's because you just hate I'm black. I'm not, I hate this. I'm black. Maybe it's more so like you just hate the fact that you are, from the 12 tribes of Israel. You just hate it. You don't have anything to do with who you were born to be. You were predestined to be a sister. You were predestined to be a brother. You were predestined to have the color that you have, the course of hair that you have, and it is what it is. And some of you are not happy with that shit at all. And you express it in many ways. And you're thinking that you know, some people say, well, it doesn't matter. Love comes in all shades, and I'm not a lily pad, and I'm not eating cotton candy right now. Like, this isn't the podcast for you. These are matter of facts. We're talking about danger on the other side. We're not talking about doing cartwheels on the other side. We're not talking about coming to your jamboree. Okay? We're not talking about that shit. We're not talking about none of that bullshit. We're talking about the danger on the other side of when our sisters think that it is safe to go to the other side only to meet peril and murder, death at the hands of your people. That's what we're talking about tonight. Now, it's just cutthroat like that. And as I mentioned, I've committed treason. Now, seriously, I've been on the other side. It ain't cool. And as I grew in who I am, I just knew, for me in particular, I love a brother. There is nothing like a brother. Ooh, nothing like all shades of brown men. God did great and great when he made all shades of brown men. Nothing like a brother. And I'm faithful and I'm dedicated to the brothers. Period. My daddy is one. My mama is a sister. I come from that, and I'm just going to keep what is right well going. Now, that does not discredit the fact that I have family members who are from relationships that are the other side. I love my family members. I don't hate them. This ain't about me bashing them. This isn't about making them feel bad about how they came together, because coming together has happened, is happening, and will continue to happen. It's just what it is. We're talking about specifically tonight the dangers on the other side. And whatever else comes along with it comes along with the commentary. I'm not going to make any apologies for the commentary because I'm speaking biblical facts. And if you have a problem with what I'm saying, you can take it to the Most High God. Period, point blank. There's nothing that I'm saying tonight that is not solid, spiritual, and true. Okay, thank you very much. All right, brothers and sisters, we're going to go ahead and get into these commercials, and I'm going to be right back. And then we're going to listen to these clips, have a conversation about the culture climate when it comes to the danger on the other side. He seemed like a nice guy. That's what it boils down to. He seemed like a nice guy, but he wasn't, though. He turned out to be so opposite of that energy. He turned out to be a monster. He love bombed, and then he became a villain, a monster. He seemed like a nice guy, though. I'm going somewhere with this because I'm tired of hearing that bullshit coming from y'all people in the nations, justifying the monstrosities. I hope I use that grammatic. If that was a grammatical, was that whatever? Yeah, atrocities. There we go. The atrocities, the unjustifiable acts of evil that manifested in a relationship where it was supposed to be perfect. A fairy tale. A finally. But no. He seemed like a nice guy. What the fuck does that mean? Because I hear that coming from the police force. I hear that coming from other people in your nations who try to cover up the fuckery. I have a problem with the term, not the term, the statement. Because it takes a lot of masquerading to seem like a nice guy. A lot of covert missions on the inside to manipulate the victim, preying upon your desire. Sister, child, mama, listen, your desire to have a perfect relationship, your desire to have your hand held. Some of you don't want to have anything to do with the brothers because you're mad at your daddy. We're going to get into it, hopefully, if that's the flow. But for whatever reason, he lured you over there. You were open? I don't know. There's so many different emotions that are going on inside of a woman whose heart is not healed. But he seemed like a nice guy. If we just be honest, as I get ready to go into these commercial breaks, anybody can seem like a nice guy, no matter where they're from. Why are we limiting our thoughts and putting ourselves in danger on the other side?
It's time to vent and get it off your chest, brothers and sisters, with the latest episode of the Vent Session on the Sister Speak Show. Episode 4, Don't Join the Circus. In this episode, boundaries, cutting people off who keep dominating you. Boosie, he said what he said. What's the next question? Solo shifts, I won't be able to meet any of your expectations. Driving, why is your license cutting up in school? Lace Candy, in love with the enemy. There are other episodes available on demand on the Vent Session. You will enjoy each one because we want to be the flavor in your ear. Each episode is rated R for strong content, language, and thoughts for all shades of brown people. It's time to podcast and chill with the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. Click the link for the latest episode. Murder, mystery, intrigue, suspense, all of the elements that make up the Suspense Files on the Sister Speak Show. And the latest episode is available on demand now. On this episode, Expelled, No One Will Tell, Murder in the Student Body. On the Suspense Files, we are covering the who, what, when, where, why in urban crime, from deadly relationships to urban cold cases and more. For all shades of brown people, this episode is rated R for strong language, thoughts, and ideas. It's time to click the link and podcast and chill with the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action, a talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. If no one tells, someone may get away with murder. Are you going to let that happen? We'll see.
It's time to podcast and chill with the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. A talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve.
No weapon formed against you shall prosper. This is Sister Speak with a word of encouragement. No matter what the enemy or enemies try to do to you, God will cause their plans to take no effect, and the pit that they dig for you, they shall fall in. If God be for you, who can be against you? Now say it with me. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. Be encouraged.
Welcome back. You are listening to The Culture Climate on the Sister Speak Show. I'm your host, Sister Speak. It's 8:42 p.m. Central Standard Time. Brothers and sisters, I thank God for the pause button. It allowed me to go and eat a piece of my banana bread. When I said I'm going to be right back at these commercial breaks, I meant that. I was like, I'm going to eat the bread after the show. And then I was like, I couldn't stop thinking about it. I'm like, when do I go? Do I go during the news clips? Or do I go now? And I was like, no, I'm going to go check on the bread and see if the bread is okay. And the bread is doing fine. Anyway, brothers and sisters, check this in. We're about to dive deep. We're going to listen to these news clips that are for fair use under the Fair Use Act of 1976 to raise awareness, to educate my brothers and sisters about the perils of the danger on the other side. One thing I know is that although the 90% of the nations who are absolutely evil and hate all shades of brown people, I think we have a common agreement on this, is that they are probably excited that I'm encouraging our sisters to heal and stay with their own tribe. And that it would just, in their eyes, keep everything pure. Listen, we can coexist with our own while being around others, right? Yes, we most definitely can. So, without further ado, we're going to get into it. I know there are white women who probably are saying, you know, I can't find a good white guy. And they might be thinking, probably, allegedly, that you are the reason why they can't. Because you've got one who could be eligible to be their man. But here you are with they man. And just, we can't be hypocrites in thought. Just how our sisters will look and feel a way about a brother being with a woman from the nations, a white woman, it's the same feeling that they have about us, y'all. We can't sit here and act like this is not a common vibration. It is. The thought and the emotion and the anger and the outrage and the conversation and it's equal. The way we think is how they think when they see it. So remember that. 90%. 90%. They feel that way. Now there's 10% that they don't mind the coming to the other side. They don't care. They're all for it. But I have a specific type of guy that I am speaking about. And it's the guy who seems like a nice guy. I'll see you on the other side of these clips.
Federal investigators search for evidence to a cold case killing a dozen years in the making. Today, we learn the case is tied to the murder of an Oakland resident named Cynthia Linda Alonzo. KTV reporter Jesse Gary first broke news of the search for the remains near the Port of Oakland yesterday, and he's back at the site again with an update. Jesse?
Frank, investigators returned this morning with a backhoe. They've resumed digging in a small area that is behind the blue tarp you see tied to the fence. Although our view is blocked, family members of the murdered woman were let inside today. They're still back there right now. Most of them are happy about this, but one in particular is not happy and really upset about what's been sacrificed to gain knowledge of his sister's whereabouts. Sandwiched between elevated BART tracks and 7th Street, a quarter-acre site that could solve a 12-year-old whodunit. Today, the Alameda County DA confirmed investigators are searching for the remains of Cynthia Linda Alonso. The 48-year-old Oakland resident disappeared on Thanksgiving in 2004. Her brother James Walker talked to KTVU not long after.
I think I'm gradually beginning to accept the fact that I won't see her again. You know, that's kind of tough because she was a beautiful person, man.
Years later, Alonzo's then-boyfriend, Eric Mora, was charged with second-degree murder in the case. He was later convicted on circumstantial evidence recovered from his home. We spoke to James Walker again today by phone.
This was a very emotional trial for me and my family. We had to go and listen to this thing day in, day out. Was there every day during the course of the trial. Someone who I love dearly, was taken away from us. And just at the point where after so many years, we're saying, okay, we're kind of getting used to dealing with this thing. Here we go again with this guy coming up with something else.
The new twist is a plea deal that could see Mora released from prison depending on what is or is not found here in West Oakland. Prosecutors say the state appellate court overturned his 2007 conviction. Mora agreed to tell police where he buried Alonzo's body in exchange for reducing the second-degree murder charge to manslaughter. If investigators find Alonzo's remains, Mora's sentence would be reduced from 15 to life to 10 years behind bars with credit for time served. He's already been in jail about 12 years, meaning he would be a free man.
This person has been able to manipulate the system, find some sort of loophole. I'm not released in any way. In fact, I feel like my sister just got killed all over again.
James Walker wants the powers that be to reconsider the plea deal. We talked to the DA's office, and they stress this plea deal only went forward after consultation with the family and, most importantly, with the victim's mother and her children. Speaking of her children, her daughter came out here, talked to us just a few minutes ago. We will bring you that part of the story at 6 o'clock. Live outside the Port of Oakland, Jesse Gary, KTVU, Fox 2 News.
All right, Jesse Gary at the Port of Oakland tonight. Jesse, thank you.
All new at 11 for the first time since remains of Brittany Davis were found and identified down in Georgia. We're hearing from her mom. Davis had been missing from Greenville for over a year, but her family never gave up hope. However, now they have a lot of questions, and they want those questions answered. Brittany's mom says it's hard to hear, but she wants justice for her daughter. Police say her fiance, Michael Wilkerson, is the responsible one for her death.
Fox Carolina's Jarvis Robertson is joining us live right now in the newsroom with their conversation. And Jarvis, I know this is not the result that anybody wanted.
Certainly is not, Shellen. Police say the suspect was living in Lawrenceville at the time of his arrest, but has been extradited back to Greenville. Now, Melanie Holloman says what was done to her daughter was a depraved act.
No relation to me.
I guess I could say it's my new normal.
A normal that Melanie Holloman will forever have a problem adjusting to.
That hole that's in my heart it's going to always be there because a part of me is gone.
Her daughter, Brittany Davis, had been missing for over a year. It's a story we've covered from the beginning. Greenville police told us just over a month ago that Brittany's remains.
Shout out to the news station who has been covering this news segment, this young girl missing, Brittany, from the time it happened. Exposure to an important case that needed media attention. Kudos to you all, to the news affiliate who's been covering this case.
Had been discovered in Georgia. Gwinnett County Police say they found a skull back in April and started working with police here to identify those remains. They say the person responsible for her death, her fiancé, Michael Wilkerson.
Let's pause on this because I'm starting to incorporate pausing as these clips come. Let's just listen to this just for a second. Missing for a year. I don't take it lightly. When you hear the words missing, everything changes. Lives are affected. Panicking begins. Anxiety, can't sleep. As the hours continue to grow and build, rather, fear sets in. Because you, sister, listen, those of you who are reckless in your thoughts, and this is no disrespect to Brittany and her family. I'm speaking about an energy here. Sisters, going missing for a black woman in this world is perilous for more than just the obvious. It's because of the lack of attention that could more than likely not happen as a result of a sister going missing. We know. And so if you factor in the statistics and how things work with demographics in this world, someone who's a sociopath, someone who is psycho, someone who seems like a nice guy, someone who dibbles and dabbles on the dark side knows that more than likely and can use that ingredient as even more of a reason to exact this hideous crime, this heinous crime, because the odds may go in their favor because they seem like a nice guy, because they're white, because their skin is light enough to where they could pass and get the privilege. Are you prepared to put yourself or to stay in a situation that you know, or maybe not, that that is not healthy for you spiritually? Are you prepared to go missing?
Melanie was surprised because she and Brittany often talked about a lot of things.
There were no signs of any type of abuse.
I asked her if Michael was helpful during the investigation, to which she replied she only heard from him once during the initial phase.
He did reply to my text, and that's the last conversation I've had with him, period.
So some of you sisters say that black men are abusive, they're ignorant, they are ghetto, they're all drug dealers. I'm just throwing out the what has been said as to why some black women have turned their back on black men. They're all in jail, they're all gay, they all have a lot of children, they don't know how to love, they don't know how to be good husbands. That, just all these things that you say about a brother, right? He's a criminal, just all these things. But then I'm listening to what Wilkerson is, the fiance, the main suspect. They found a skull and he didn't really participate in looking for his fiance. So you tell me, how is it that this guy over here gets a pass? Does he get a pass because of his color? So you'll excuse the energy because of the color, but you won't excuse the energy because of the color over here.
Another family member reached out, and there was conversation.
She told me they had been engaged for about 9 months to a year.
They had been knowing each other for quite a few years, though.
While Melanie works through the grief, she says the fight for Brittany's justice and more answers will continue.
This is what Brittany would want. I know this. Because I can hear her now. No, mama. We can't stop right here.
While the grief may be strong, the memories are ever present. I asked, what is it about Brittany that makes her smile? She said her love for candles.
And that was the thought that came to mind. The pumpkin pecan waffle candle was her favorite.
Although Wilkerson has been charged, Melanie is asking anyone who may have seen or heard something to still come forward. We're live in the newsroom tonight. I'm Jarvis Robertson. Back to you in the studio.
Investigators say they've arrested a man who killed his fiancée. He's in Gwinnett County, Georgia, waiting to be brought back to Greenville, where he'll go before a judge. 7 News' Olivia Parsons has that story.
We first told you about this story back in March of 2020 when the Greenville Police Department issued these photos to the public asking for help finding missing 32-year-old Brittany Michelle Davis of Greenville. That's when Davis's family contacted GPD to report her missing. She was last seen in early February on Woodruff Road. Investigators say she was living with her fiancé at the time, Michael Lee Wilkerson, along McDaniel Avenue. That's where detectives say they found evidence suggesting Davis was dead and likely a victim of foul play. More than a year later, in April of 2021, investigators found human remains in a wooded area in northeast Georgia. DNA tests later determined they belonged to Davis. No cause of death has been determined so far. However, police say the evidence obtained drew a connection to Davis's fiancé Wilkerson. On Tuesday, law enforcement officials took Wilkerson into custody during a traffic stop in Buford, Georgia. That's where he's currently in jail waiting to come back to Greenville, where he'll face those murder charges. Friends of Davis say she was a beautiful soul with a good heart.
Brittany was a shining light. And, for her to die like this, it's just, it's heartbreaking for everybody.
Davis years ago, but they kept in touch. He says the hardest part was living day to day in the unknown.
People pass away of cancer or they pass away in a car wreck or something like that. You kind of know what it was, but not to know where she was and how she passed away. I think that was the biggest thing that that really just hurt everybody.
Pace says as the months passed, his hope of seeing her again dwindled.
The story was, she had got a plane ticket booked to Puerto Rico. And I know she loved Puerto Rico. Me and her spoke about that, but she never got on the flight.
He says that he's thankful that she will be put to rest peacefully.
It's sad, and it's you kind of sick at your stomach, but I will say this. I'm glad her mom, who was such a sweet person, and her brothers got some closure.
Olivia Parsons reporting there. We did reach out to the Greenville Police Department for comment. They said they won't provide a statement until Wilkerson's been formally served with his murder warrant.
So, living together, known each other for some years, been engaged for about 9 months to a year. There were no signs of abuse, but they found her remains. However, they found her remains in a wooded area. That's not anything that you expect in a relationship, no matter who you're with, right? And I'm showing these clips because I want my sisters to purge from the thought that only black men are this way, and that you are not able to experience the desires of your heart, as long as they are righteous, concerning love with a brother. It is imperative, my train of thought just tried to slip from me. The enemy's not going to steal my thought. It is imperative that you listen and unlearn thinking that this murderous, unromantic, fucked off energy is only possessed by brothers. And that you can let your guard, you think that you can finally let your guard down because you're on the other side and you feel like you're safe, but you're not. You're not safe spiritually or physically. It's the unseen the untold, that is where the answers lie, in the unseen, the untold. He carried her body to the woods. That's what he felt about her. He seemed like a nice guy. I'm quite sure he did. I think it is heartbreaking that this young lady lost her life. Heartbreaking.
After protesters demanded answers, new developments in the death of a 23-year-old black woman who died after a dating app meetup. After protesters demanded answers, marching on what would have been Lauren Smithfield's 24th birthday Sunday, carrying balloons to mark the occasion. Smithfields was found unresponsive in her apartment December 12th. Her family now filing a notice of claim, a first step in preparing to sue the city of Bridgeport, Connecticut for its, quote, racially insensitive handling of Smithfield's sudden passing.
I mean, whatever happened that night, we want to know. And we want to feel like that they care as much as we care.
She was found by a man she allegedly met on the dating app Bumble, according to a police incident report provided.
Sisters, how are you on this dating site? Are you on any type of site that is kind of similar in the objective, like this site? Did you meet him on a website? On a dating site, excuse me? I'm asking for you to listen to these clips and let these news clips be a curriculum for you, a guide for you, education for you about keeping your head on a swivel regardless, about protecting yourself regardless, about using discernment, about waiting, about not being so fucking carefree in life that you don't protect yourself. That you pull away from what you think you are supposed to be doing and actually be still to find out why you're here on this earth. There is so much work to be done that the last thing many of us need to be doing is trying to find a date. Link up, hang out, hang in, find love, find companionship. All of these reasons, whatever they are, the buffet of reasons. Wait a minute, make sure my microphone is not. Okay, there we go. Hold on 1 second, y'all. These reasons that we say that we're going to look, go online, we need to be extra fucking careful. Have you ever heard of stranger danger? I don't think anybody gives a fuck about stranger danger. Everybody is so engulfed. Not everybody. Some people don't care about stranger danger, and some people are so engulfed in trying to link up that they miss the warning signs, the red flags. Whether they're young or old, it doesn't matter the age. It's the energy. It's the energy. And sometimes when you are younger, it's an adventure. And the access to excess is here, y'all. You can find whatever you're looking for online. Whoever you're looking for online, these sites cater to that. Whatever your fantasy is, your void is, whatever it is that you like, it's there. It's there. You want somebody who is A, B, and C? There's a website for A, B, and C. They will cater to your lust, your desires, your vulnerabilities, your loneliness, your hatred. And you just never know who you're going to get behind the profile. You never know. It doesn't matter what they say on their bio, how they describe themselves. You never know. The illusions are at an all-time high. The masquerading is at an all-time high. You have no idea who is behind this profile. Too trusting. Too liberated. And the amount of murders that have occurred in totality from meeting up with somebody off of a dating site are one too many. Wouldn't you agree?
By the family attorney. The man is 37 years old and white, according to public record, and he called the police, according to the incident report, when he says he woke up next to her and she was not breathing.
The man who found Lauren is not currently considered a person of interest. What is the family's response to that?
The family is very insulted by that. They weren't looked at as a person of interest, and we feel that is racially motivated.
Tonight, her death ruled an accident by the Connecticut chief medical examiner. The cause of death is multiple drugs, including fentanyl and alcohol. According to the police report, the man told police that the night before, the two were drinking tequila and Smithfields became ill and, quote, went to the bathroom to vomit. They continued drinking and she fell asleep. The report makes no reference to the two having sexual relations that night. The man says he heard Smithfield snoring around 3:30 a.m. When police arrived before 7 a.m., she had been, quote, dead for at least an hour or more and had dried blood in and around her right nostril.
The family is alleging a racially insensitive handling of the case, that their civil rights were violated. What exactly are you referring to?
We know that we have seen the response that the nation has given to Gabby Petito when she went missing. We don't have anything that comes even close to that in this particular case.
Their attorney says the family found a note with a phone number on Smithfield's door around 7:30 p.m. the next day. The landlord notified them of her death.
And they're told there's nothing to investigate. He seems like a nice guy. They never quarantined the area. They never collected anything of value.
Instead, according to the notice of claim, the family found their own evidence, including blood-stained sheets and, quote, a pill used as a sedative and a used condom. The Bridgeport police did not comment on the specific allegations made by the family, but in a statement said in part, the investigation remains open and active, and the department offers its sincerest condolences to the family and friends of Miss Lauren Smithfields.
Well, I never get to touch her again. It's deplorable how they treated us. I see her in everything I do.
All right, Sinclair joins us from here in 30 Rock. So, Sinclair, you mentioned on your story that it was alleged they met on Bumble, the dating app. Has that company said anything, and has the leadership in the city said anything else about this case?
Yeah, Tom. So Bumble, which is a pretty popular dating app, told us in a statement that they've been in touch with law enforcement, but, quote, have not received a request for any information and that they always cooperate regarding investigations. Meanwhile, Bridgeport's mayor tells us that he will work with police to, quote, make appropriate changes regarding death notifications for family members. And that's in direct response to the claims of the family, who say the police did not notify them of Amber's death 24 hours after she passed. The family is also awaiting the results of
of an independent autopsy, Tom.
Okay, Zinclay, we thank you for that.
He seemed like a nice guy. He seemed like a nice guy. First of all, there's video on that phone, on his phone. I'm feeling, and I'm just going to read this. I really believe that there's video footage on his phone. I believe that this is not his first time having a problem. I believe that he did most definitely put something in her drink. I believe that he is 100% lying. And I believe that the police department absolutely dropped the fucking ball on this case, and you better pick it the fuck up real quick. You better clean this up, and you better tally-ho y'all asses and go get that motherfucker who was last with her and question him like you supposed to question him. He seemed like a nice guy. Okay. So I guess you're the type when you go on a hike and you see a mountain lion, you say, "Here, kitty, kitty." What the fuck? This is the problem that I have with cops versus police officers. Those were cops that did that who did the investigation. You weren't police officers. There's no way a police officer would have handled that case like that. You all fucked up. And this white guy who seemed like a nice guy, obviously has a fucking problem. He's a psychopath. There's footage on his phone. He has a gallery. This is not his first victim. And if you would have done your proper investigation, and if you ever do your proper investigation, or when the FBI steps into this, because that where it looks like it might be headed towards that way, then we might be able to uncover some deep, dark secrets, Mr. Nice Guy. I don't believe you let me say this, the time frame and the time lapse is a cause for concern for me. And you said that she went to the bathroom and was throwing up. And you're over there, you're hanging out with her. Why didn't you call 911 for her if you saw she was fucked up? Or was that a part of it? And if she's bleeding from the nose, did you strangle her? Blunt force trauma? Why was she bleeding from the nose? What were y'all doing drug-wise, if any? What was going on? Because you woke up and she didn't. You called the police and it was probably rehearsed how you delivered your phone call. But this young girl, the ball was dropped on her. You know, I just want my brothers and sisters to understand, white America, the 90%ers, they don't give a fuck about us. Stop looking for them to do so. They're not capable of doing it. They're barbaric in their heart. There's no way they could ever give a fuck about any one of us going missing. They don't give a fuck. They don't. The 90%ers want us to go home anyway. Go back to where we came from. And I say to the 90%ers, go back to where you cave from. C-A-V-E. Don't fuck with me tonight. Go back to your home. Go back to where you roam. Don't play. You know, that's real shit. But our brothers and sisters got to stop acting like suckers when it comes to, you know, and let me say this. Let me not say suckers. We need to know what it is. This is the culture climate. They don't want to cover it. They don't want to put out a search party. They don't want to go looking for our sister or our brother. They just don't. The scales are not balanced, and we know that. Why are we still focusing on that? We have enough manpower to do a lot of things. Enough manpower to form our own search parties. There are enough podcasts and other type of platforms to where if we could unite when it comes to situations like that, especially the people on YouTube who have a lot of subscribers, okay? You get a lot of views. You got to be willing to step into the gap and bring out national attention concerning these type of cases, okay? Those of you who have crime-solving platforms of this type of nature, keep your ears to the street. If you have a team, if you've been blessed to have a team, where you maybe have an intern or somebody who keeps their ear open to black girls going missing, that means that we have to keep our ears to social media, because if it were not for Twitter, Instagram, and any of these other type of social media platforms where our people were a driving force when it comes to making outcries, we would not know half of what we know about who's missing and what's going on. So it is our duty, mine included, to make sure that we are here to be what our people are looking for. Sometimes you are looking for your keys and they're in your hand. Stop always projecting onto white media, white people asking for their help. They don't want to help us. 90% of them, the 10% may, but the 90%, they're just not here for us. So we can be outraged, but meanwhile, time is ticking and we need to find who's missing. We need to solve the case. We need to put the pressure on the powers that pseudo be to make them do something. But we cannot just sit there and say, we've got a problem, white people solve it. Come on. Nah, that shit don't fly in the village. We have a problem and we can solve it. We can fix it. We can do something about it. We are lazy when it comes to the righteous solutions for our people. Now, getting back to these cops that dropped the fucking ball. And this white guy, you would be surprised if y'all would do a proper investigation that there's more than one body, allegedly. There's more than one body with this guy. He is not a nice guy. It's so easy to fucking go online and be anybody you want to be. I wouldn't want to. I don't have the time. I don't have the time. I don't have the energy. I don't have the brain power to be that manipulative, to sit here and say, I'm a killer, but I'm going to go on this website and pretend like I'm the greatest guy on earth or the greatest woman on earth. And I'm going to lure my victims in. I'm going to love bomb them. And then I'm going to sedate them. And then I'm going to rape them. And I'm going to kill them. Nah. I don't fuck with that energy. So this sister right here woke up. Something happened when he came over, obviously. He knows he's lying, and I'm trying to figure out, is he one of y'all? Is he related to somebody on the force? Is he the son of somebody? Why did he get a pass? Why did this white guy get a pass? Wasn't anything natural about that cause of death. And slipping a roofie or any type of sedative into somebody's drink is criminal, right? Okay, so how nice was this guy? He seems like a nice guy and just something went wrong. Fuck that. Fuck that. I don't want to rely on anybody who doesn't give a fuck about me. So I'm not looking for for the media that is designed for 90% of white people to be here for my people. When there are the Black News Channel, there are so many brothers and sisters out here. You all have got to come back into the light. Those of you who have strayed away from your loyalty and your allegiance to the village. You are not loyal and you have no allegiance to the village. You're not supporting the platforms that are here. You want to keep projecting onto the white media or the media that is not designed for us to do something about it. Why? What the fuck are we doing about it? Why aren't you reaching out to the platforms who are in the trenches for the village? Who have podcasts that are dedicated to Black women and Black men that are missing. There are platforms on YouTube who cover these topics. Why are you not pouring into these platforms with your money? Investing into these platforms so they can keep going. Shout out to everybody who hits the Cash App on those who are content creators, who actually support and actually recognize the hard work that freelancers do, because that's what we are, freelancers. Who actually say, you know what? The energy that he or she puts out, the time, the content, the front line that they're on, let me just show them some love, because they're not going to be able to get what they're trying to get if they were trying to go in the mass media, because we know who that's geared towards and who they cater to. So this sister, this brother is actually out here on faith with a platform dedicated to our village. What the fuck? Let's support. Get rid of the hate, get rid of the jealousy, get rid of the identity issues, get rid of the low self-esteem, get rid of all that bullshit that makes you not be able to be a real sister and a real fucking brother. To where you are really up for your people. Fuck being down for your people. Be up for your people. Support these platforms. They're here. Fuck the competition. I'm tired of this shit. We are the answerers. When the disciples went out and looked around and they saw how much work needed to be done, they said the harvest is plenteous, but the laborers are few. And the Lord looked at them and basically said, you are the laborers. What do you mean? You're the solution. Get to fucking work. Ooh, welcome to the Culture Climate, brothers and sisters. This is real spill. Our brothers and sisters' minds are twisted like a pretzel. All kind of contorted thoughts that are lifeless. No allegiance to your own kind. Hating your own kind. Smiling in the colonizer's face, supporting the colonizer's platform. But when it comes to your own brothers and sisters, some of you are haters. He seemed like a nice guy.
You are married to an African-American woman.
Yes, I'm married to an African-American woman. I remember distinctly a conversation I had with my father when I was in elementary school, where I went up to him one day. Of course, I didn't understand everything that has to deal with racism or race relations at that point in my life. But I did realize that I was attracted to, in more than a social way, women of all ethnicities. And I remember distinctly going to my father and saying, Dad, would you mind if I did marry a black woman one day? And his response to me was, as long as she looks good, I don't care what color she is.
If you ask me if it's like a conscious choice to pick a darker skinned woman versus like a lighter skinned woman, for me, Not really. It wasn't an effort to go find the deepest, darkest chocolate sister out there and get the full-on, for real deal, straight from the motherland. And I didn't think that defined blackness to me. You're not more ethnic if you're darker. It's just, that's how to be who Joni was. But when you look at her, there was nothing about that color of her skin that defined her.
Is marriage for white people? That's the question being asked by an author of a new book. Is marriage for white people how the African-American marriage decline affects everyone? It's got a lot of people talking right now. Stanford law professor Ralph Richard Banks says it's time for black women to, this is a quote, give up the good fight on marrying a black man. Here he is.
The way I think of that is that women have been asked to carry a great load. Black women shoulder a lot of the burden, in short, of black men's struggles. And I am asking women to put the burden down. Many women think that they're attracted to black men. They are attracted to black men. But attraction itself is complicated. And one of the things that I discovered in the course of writing this book is that there's a whole host of fears and desires and anxieties that animate black women's attraction to black men.
Okay, Banks recently wrote an article in the Wall Street Journal and said that 70% of black women aren't married. That's roughly true. Okay, so is it time for single, educated, and working black women to just forget the notion of marrying a black man and look outside their race? A new Gallup poll shows more and more people are receptive to the idea of interracial marriage. In 1968, the numbers were quite low for whites approving of interracial marriage. This is a Gallup poll from USA Today, but today those numbers skyrocketed for both blacks and whites. So does the author have a point? Is the black marriage nearly obsolete? Is the idea just for white people? I have a black couple here who says, hello, I'm right here. Joining us more to talk about this is Lamar and Ronnie Tyler, bloggers for Black and Married with Kids. All right, Tyler, so I guess my first question is, what is your reaction to what you have just heard? A lot of people have been talking about this.
I just think the book is dangerous, and it's sending a dangerous message.
Dangerous?
Yes.
Okay.
I definitely think it is just perpetuating all of the negative stereotypes that are out there. Mm-hmm. And now is the time for black people to come together and to work together, not to look outside of our community for the answers.
Dangerous how so? And I want you to answer this because he seems to be putting a lot of negativity out there on black men.
Sure. Well, I think what he's done is created a perfect mechanism to sell books, but not so much to help African-American women.
All right.
And I think, he's portraying this like this is some type of help tool for them, but not at all. I think anytime when you say that one entire group of people, specifically based on race, is bad and another group is good, then it doesn't make any sense at all. It's not helping anybody. Instead, the conversation should be, if there are problems in the African-American community, how can we uplift the community? What can we do to show them that marriage is positive, to show them that parenting is positive and where it's at, instead of, making notions like these that basically just get you on TV, in the media all the time and allow you to sell books.
Well, because some of the numbers that he put out there are true. A white woman is twice as likely to get married as a black woman. Some of what he is saying is true, is what you take exception to, what you say are solutions that aren't actually solutions. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. Solutions that are not actually solutions. So if it's true, let's get down to why it's true and bring forth real solutions for the black community.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think, interracial dating is fine. I think who you fall in love with is who you fall in love with. But again, when you say...
Some views are not views of the Sister Speak show.
This group of people, in this particular instance, which is black men, are bad and you shouldn't be with them. And I think the craziest thing about all of this is the fact that he's married to a black woman. Mm-hmm. So what if she took his own advice? They wouldn't be married now.
So what you're saying is, okay, let me make sure I'm clear. He's saying, look outside of your race because there's a problem with your race, as opposed to just be with whoever you choose to be with, regardless of what their race is. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's this two-part thing. Part of it is that, and part of it is this thing about the black man being so bad, just perpetuating these continual stereotypes that we've had now for generations and generations. And the problem becomes when you have people in communities that don't see marriage every day, that don't see those positive images of marriage portrayed, they start to believe things like this. When they see books and they see movies and they see different things, some that marriage is for white people, they start to actually get that into their conscience, and then that passes down from generation to generation.
Because there are plenty of positive images of black marriages out there. I mean, we've got the Obamas. I mean, exactly. There's Will and Jada. If you don't believe all that.
Ma'am, next time, write down some couples before you just throw them out there like that. There's, that ain't helping the situation at all. Please have the references ready to go. Keep it together, sis. Keep it together. We have, Suge and Snoop. No, I'm just playing.
Tabloid messes out there. Right. An interracial couple. There's Iman and David Bowie. There's lots of positive images out there if you choose to see them.
Exactly. And that's exactly what we're doing with our website, trying to actually build upon those positive images. Because if you don't see it, then maybe you don't think it's possible to be that. And so it's very important to have those images.
Yeah, and it's just an example. We do documentaries. In our second documentary, You Saved Me, 8 couples, African-American couples from newlywed over 50 years. We premiered it in D.C., sold out over 540 seats in advance of the screening. They had to put up folding chairs down the aisle, I like to say, like church on Easter Sunday. And these people, we're not Spike Lee and Tanya Lewis Lee. They didn't know us by name recognition, but that's how hungry in our community we offer positive.
Black women, right, graduating from college 2-to-1 to black men. You throw in incarceration rates, you throw in the unemployment rates, and you're saying there's just not enough black men.
Well, there are not enough black men for all of the college-educated black women in particular that have the type of husbands that they want to have.
The type that they want to have. Now, I put this out, and we had this conversation yesterday, and a lot of people were chiming in, and I decided to ask for questions from viewers. And one of the questions, simply put, is, do black women deserve better than what black men have to offer? That seems like a very heavy question there, but is that essentially what it is? Do we not measure up to the quality of black women right now?
That's really a great way to put it. And I will admit that I usually think about it from the other perspective, which is that is it fair to ask black women to sacrifice their own happiness on the altar, as it were, of black men's struggles? And I think not.
What is that?
I think not.
Okay, what's that sacrifice necessarily when we're talking about, and I asked you this question yesterday, is it always marrying down if the person you're marrying doesn't make as much money or have the same level of education? Could be a good guy.
Yeah, he could be a good guy, and lots of relationships work across classes, that's true. But it's also the case that for everyone, not simply for the women, but for the men as well, having a spouse who is matched to you educationally in terms of your outlook, your aspirations, your experiences, that's a positive thing. So it's actually not a great thing for the wife or the husband if they're in a mismatched relationship.
All right, and we know a lot of conversations were started yesterday because of this topic, and I had one of these conversations at my house with Mrs. Holmes, and one of these things that keeps coming up is how do you, and the word I think my wife used was reprogram, if you will, black women, because you're suggesting they need to be open to dating outside of their race. But, you know, a lot of black women just like brothers. They like the black man.
Right.
So if you're just not attracted naturally, why have them give up on finding a black man?
Right, that's a great question. And the issue, the way I think of that is that women have been asked to carry a great load. Black women shoulder a lot of the burden, in short, of black men's struggles. And I am asking women to put the burden down. Many women think that they're attracted to black men. They are attracted to black men. But attraction itself is complicated. And one of the things that I discovered in the course of writing this book is that there's a whole host of fears and desires and anxieties that animate black women's attraction to black men.
Okay, and on that, though, I got another question from a viewer, Judy, sent in and said, well, it sounds like you're saying, why should black women give up the good fight? You know, you're not telling them to take on a project of fixing a man necessarily, but why just give up on black men?
Right, that is another great question. I actually am asking black women to give up the good fight because the fight hasn't been successful. The fight has not been successful. This is what a friend of mine, Carolyn Edgar, calls a Negro Improvement Project, which is what a lot of black women undertake, and often the results are not so great. So the strategy has been counterproductive. It doesn't help African Americans for us to have black men and black women locked in bad relationships and raising children in households where the parents.
I couldn't hold it. You are suggesting that sisters forsake their allegiance, go to the other side where we are not welcomed because you feel that black women are burdened by building up the black man, and you're suggesting that they go to the white man who has think tanks and who has set up so many obstacles that create burdens and snares and traps for black men? Get your Penderhue, Braxton, we're brothers, we're happy, and we're singing, and we're colored. If you don't get your silent fart ass up out of here, you are ridiculous. If clickbait and clout chasing were a square, like on some real shit, you want my sisters to go into peril, go from one form of peril to another form of peril. You want them in, I don't know if this is a mass infiltration that you're suggesting, that they go off into the nations and say, hey, white women, we're here to get your men. And then put black women in the guillotine to be slaughtered, to be murdered, to be belittled, to endure even more hardships. What the fuck? Who sent you? Who sent you? Who sent you? You can't even make it make sense. And you're married to a black woman? Oh my sis. Ooh, I hope you wear shades every time you come outside with him. I would not want nobody to see my face. You should put on the type of outfit that Michael Jackson had his kids in when they was going outside. Like whatever blanket had on, that's what you need to have on. Like, I would not want to be seen with this nigga in any way, shape, or form. You dummy. Like, that is the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. Go to the white men who have spent centuries, decades, fucking up the black man. Go love on them. Go kiss on them. Go bear their burdens. Go inherit their karma and their energy. Yeah, go and subject yourself to not being able to assimilate and code switch into a world that doesn't want you. I don't know how else to make it plain. But you work for the nations. You are suggesting, and it's almost, and I hope none of the sisters ever listen to this Braxton Penderhue ass. Oh, excuse me. Bring it on down, Sister Speak. Bring it. Don't bring it on down, but just come on. You can do it. I hope y'all not listening to him. I hope you're not going to go out there and buy the book and then think that, oh yeah, this is my Bible into getting into how to, this is my rite of passage. This is what I needed in order to initiate myself into the nations. This is how I get to become a part of the atrocity. Dang. I'll be right back after. Oh wait, I still got a little bit of the clip to play. Hold on.
Parents quarrel and ultimately divorce.
Well,
that's not a win for anyone.
It is law professor Ralph Richard Banks. The book is called Is Marriage for White People? I think it went on sale on the 2nd this week, and it has started a conversation that I'm sure will continue.
When it comes to being a rap lyricist, what sets you apart is your ability to be able to freestyle on demand. If you can't freestyle, you can't rap. The latest episode of the Tour on the Sister Speak show is available on demand now. In this episode, beatdowns versus bars, when freestyle battles turn violent. Rated R for strong content and language. On the tour, we cover all aspects of the music industry, focusing on musicians, managers, songwriters, producers, music groups, DJs, with exclusive music as well as concert reviews and IG Live concerts and interviews. on the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. A talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Go ahead and click the link for the latest episode. The latest episode of The Laugh Line on the Sister Speak Show is available on demand now. On this episode, can you take the heat? The origin of the comedy roast. Do some jokes go too far? Plus, naturally funny, Desi Banks, and on tour again, must-see comedians. On The Laugh Line, we are covering all aspects of comedy for all shades of brown people. You will not be disappointed. This episode is rated R for strong language, thoughts, and ideas. It's time to what? Podcast and chill with the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action, a talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Click the link in the bio for this episode. It's time to get lit, laugh, learn, and live. What's the point of putting on a bonnet if it's not going to stay on my head? I'm tired of it slipping off and waking up to it the next day. There has to be a better bonnet for me that's stylish and stays on. Oh, child. Ooh, it's the pillow for me. I'm just going to have to sleep pretty. This last shift took me all the way out.
I'm going to get a bonnet tomorrow. I can't wait. I'm going to ask Mommy if I can get one for my bear, too. Just as soon as I wake up from my nap.
It's time to sleep pretty and protected with these stylish Mommy and Me bonnets available now at KKLachey.com. These Mommy and Me bonnets are available in stock and ready for you to maintain your crown. KK Lachey is a look, feel, and vibe. You're able to shop these products and more when you go to the website. It's time to shop and chill with KKLachey.com. There are some gender reveals that reveal more than just the gender. They can reveal the agenda of a predator. The latest episode of The Suspense Files is available on demand now. The insanity that rocks the cradle. The pregnancy predator. On The Suspense Files, we're covering the who, what, when, where, why in urban crime, including crimes of passion, deadly relationships, mysteries, urban cold cases, and more. Click the link in the bio for the latest episode on the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. Rated R for strong content, thoughts, and ideas. There won't be any more warnings. That's why your heart is beating fast. He's out there again. You can see him from the stage. He's obsessed with you. That's why he's taking your pictures. You're his fantasy. The latest episode of The Suspense Files on the Sister Speak Show is available on demand now. Rated R for strong content, language, and thoughts. On this episode, fantasies and felonies. Strip club killers. On the Suspense Files, we cover the who, what, when, where, why in urban crime, including crimes of passion, deadly relationships, mysteries, urban cold cases, and more. Click the link for the latest episode of the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action, a talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Be careful. Try not to fall in love with a stripper. Welcome back. You are listening to The Culture Climate on the Sister Speak on the Sister Speak Show. It's 9:48 p.m. Central Standard Time. Brothers and sisters, check this out. I'm going to probably have to say this. I'm about to really say some things that I just got to say them. And I know y'all probably like, you've been saying some things, Sister Speak. Well, it's going to keep the pattern going. Brothers, I'm going to need y'all to stop dealing with each other. I'm going to need y'all to separate from being in same-sex relationships because we need you. We need you to come back and to balance your energies sexually so you can desire the opposite sex energy, and that you can live in the fullness of how you were created and predestined to be as a man. I am not negating, dismissing, or disrespecting whatever you have been through that made your energy be that way. I am not going to be ignorant to the fact that there is pain behind the energy, okay? However, the energy requires that you heal from the pain so you can come out of the same sex energy that you desire. It is necessary because we need you. We need you to heal, to separate, and to come back into the fold. Come back into, well, actually, not come back into the fold, excuse me, to come forth as a new creature. You are valuable, and the attacks on black men, the attacks on my brothers are hideous. The influences, the fact that there are people who stay up all night thinking of ways to destroy our people. You guys are just maniacs. Nevertheless, the maniacs have launched several attacks on you all. And one of them is that homosexual, that same-sex energy. And I just want you to heal from whatever it is that makes you desire that same sex. So we will have more black men available. Brothers, I need you to please stop with the gangster, thuggish, ruggish bone, street nigga life that you're living. The shit is many, it's insane, and it does nothing good for you but leave you in position to leave this earth, to just go away, to be a part of the slaughter. And as a result of that, it limits the access to having black men. Now, I know that there are black men all over the world. There are all shades of brown men living all over the world, the ones that are left, right? As some would say. I need you all to please seek the Most High God and repent. I need you to please stop desiring the low vibrating energies that lead you into the streets to do the devil's work. Because the morgues are filling up with the husbands. The black on black, the crime is fucking ridiculous. It's the worst form of assassination, biblically, that you could have for us to turn on each other and to kill one another. I'm serious about this. Brothers, how long are you going to continue to alienate yourself from your own inheritance as the royal priesthood? How long are you going to continue to forsake your crown, your kingdom, your rightful position on this earth as a royal priesthood for being a street nigga? Leaving us open to having to say, well, damn, do I have to date outside of my tribe? Now, I'm not saying that because I know better, but there are women, our sisters, who are saying, well, shoot, at the rate that everything is going and the way everything is, who is left? Who is left? Who is left? Some of y'all don't even want to date a black woman because you don't like black women, because you have unhealed trauma from your childhood that stems from your own mother. Deal with the pain. Stop going around making fucked up decisions that alienate you and make your allegiance dissipate, decline from your own tribe and your tribe of women. Everything that you desire and looking for is in the tribe, in a high vibrating energy. You have not healed. And you are out here away from, in a faraway land, away from the village. You want to have nothing to do with the black woman. Some of you are, highly melanated brothers, and you talk so much shit about highly melanated sisters. And that is so foul. Borderline of sin. Real shit. Like, you can't ever make that shit make sense, how you would hate what you are. Heal from your own issues that you had to deal with colorism growing up. Unlearn the unhealthy conversations, jokes, and everything else that offended you, hurt you, tore you down, broke your confidence, and made you feel like you didn't belong in the village. Now, sisters, some of you have run some of these brothers off because you won't shut the fuck up. You just won't. You're like fucking Now, I can say this shit. You're like fucking barbarians. You're wild as shit, untamed, no structure, ghetto as fuck, loose, ignorant. You lack spirituality. You're not tapped into who you are, and all you give a fuck about is superficial things. And you tear down brothers that are your same color. Oh, he too ugly, he too dark. Have you, like, some of y'all is borderline booger wolf yourself, just keeping it 100, Seriously, some of you have run off these brothers with your mouth. Shut the fuck up. Some of you have no men in your family, just maybe one son. I'm praying for the little boys who have to grow up in the household full of you barbarians. Lord, have mercy on these little boys who have to grow up and there's no men because y'all keep running the men off. You just keep running them off. You just keep running because you won't shut up. Insulting, disrespectful. Just don't. I can't even call you sister because ain't nothing sister about you. You ain't righteous in that low vibrating energy. And then when you see him go off to the other side, you talk shit. You just can't shut up. Treat him like shit, then talk shit about him going over there. But you didn't do shit to keep him over here. Now, that doesn't justify him going over there. I'm not justifying any of those choices. I'm saying our sisters are part of the problem as well. And are too quick to throw the rock and hide their hand and project onto black men that they are the problem when we are family. I got all my sisters in me. No, we are family. We, nosotros. We. La gente es la familia. So, what's the problem? Our sisters need to time the fuck out. Time the fuck out. And get it the fuck together. Some of us. Some. You are no good being damaged. And when you start to bully and disrespect your brothers and making fun of them and doing what you do, you're going to reap. And some of you are so arrogant that nobody can tell you shit. Oh, well, I'm going to do what the fuck I want to. I'm going to say what the fuck I want to. Just scummy. Scummy bummy. A liability to the village. Some of you running our brothers off because you're mean-spirited. And you want them to stick around and be everything that you want them to be while you are a loose cannon, batshit crazy, traumatized, unhealed, lazy, keep popping out babies left and right, a menace to the environment, unclean, and I'm saying some, but I'm telling the fucking truth. Give them a reason to stay. Give them a reason. You're part of the ingredient. There is a calling for us to be virtuous women. How can we be virtuous if we are tearing down the royal priesthood, the chosen ones, the ones on the front line, the leaders, the protectors, God's sons? Do you really think that God is only interested in looking after you? God don't play about me, sis. God who? God Johnson? I'm just asking because I know you're not talking about the Most High God. Who are you talking about? You act as if God only has daughters. God has sons and daughters. And the sons came before we did. So do you think that he's just gonna be like, oh yeah, child, I feel you? No, he's not. God is not a sissy. He ain't punkish. He's not loose with his ways and energy. Do you think he condones you berating, belittling, being a colorist? The colorism that comes out of your mouth, the insults, when if God were to pull back the walls to your home, and you want a good black man though, but you are a bad black woman. My nigga got to be this, and my nigga got to be that, and my nigga got to be this, and he got to be this, and he got to be this, and you will take getting lumped up side of your head. Some of you are attracted to who you really are, and you can't see it. You can't see it. Some of you have hurt men, and this shit happened in the 3rd grade. I'm just going to be real. Some of y'all might not even remember the bullying and the teasing and the bullshit that you did, but you scarred some brothers. You scarred them. And you need to apologize. I'm telling you straight the fuck up. And I don't care. You should never be the type of person who somebody has to tell you to apologize. But so be it. You need to apologize. Some of you really need to seek out these brothers who you have wounded with your tongue. Just being honest. I don't give a fuck if they married. I don't care if they're in a relationship or not. You need to do your due diligence, and you need to ask the Most High God to line your journey up to where you can run into who you have wounded with your tongue, because they're scarred. And some of you saying, well, he shouldn't be carrying it for that long. And this, and no, you should have never had that in you. It was in you, and you should have never said it. So if you want to know part of the reason why, it's because somebody said some fucked up shit to somebody in the 3rd grade and they didn't heal. And they have been having issues with their color ever since. The worst form of abuse is coming from your own fucking people. And we are nasty towards one another, right? Just being real. There's one instance where like you're doing the dozens and you're joking, and we all know why we hear what the objective is, but we're not really, it's not that. But then there's just this really like this lynching that we do to one another. This lynching. Our sisters, you need to apologize. You need to find these brothers, and you need to humble yourself, and you need to apologize. And if you never do find them, you need to repent in your prayers, genuinely. Brothers, you may never get the apology. Okay? You may never get the apology. But that does not mean, but you do need to apologize to yourself for dropping the ball on yourself, for hating yourself, for feeling bad about yourself, for feeling like your color is a curse, and you really need to understand that it's time for you to set that little boy in you free who was traumatized and bullied, and you need to nurture him, but you need to tell him now, you've got it from here. Your answer is not in the nations, brother. Your refuge is not in the nations. It's not over there on the other side. Moving forward, I want to stay on topic, but this is all on topic. I'm going to flow with the way the Lord has me going. It's just crucial that we understand that until we are healed, we will make some decisions that are not for our greater good. And if we do not believe in the Most High God and Yah, okay, we are even more susceptible to making perilous decisions that would have us going towards danger instead of running from it. The Bible says not to hand your sons and daughters over to them, okay? A lot of people have tried to change how God feels, how the Most High God feels. A lot of people dedicate their time trying to twist and tarnish what God said, what the Most High God said and what he meant. He said what he meant and he meant what he said. And you are kicking against pricks when you try to rewrite what was written well. What is a so be it? What is a that's all, folks, you know? Because a lot of times people want to make things twist in a way that it benefits them instead of just seeing it as is and governing themselves accordingly. It is hard to admit to yourself that you're out of pocket. But once you do, the Lord is able to work with you. You've got to release this ego and this pride that you're not the problem also. Okay? Sisters, romance and all that shit you've been seeing on TV, all that kissing and shit and all of the if I can't I can't live without you. I know you all have gotten caught up in these fucking movies. That's what it is. You got caught up in the movies. Yes. I'm serious. I'm going to start looking in the credits to see if some of you sisters is in the credits. Some of you are so into the movies that you're damn near extra. You want this shit to happen to you. And it has been, like I said in the beginning, it has been projected to you that the only way, the only door to romance is through a white man. But in these cases tonight, we see that the door to romance, the door to an engagement, a door to marriage, was the door to the morgue, was the casket door closing. White men know how to handle white women. Black men know how to handle black women. Black women know how to handle black men. White women know how to handle white men. All in a high vibrating energy. It's who we are. It was how we were designed. If it were not so, it would not be. We have been given everything that we need individually and collectively to activate that thought process, mentality, regimen, lifestyle. And let it reign in righteousness with the super ruler being the head of all of our fellowships, whether they be platonic or not. We have been given what we need to survive with one another and to cohabitate in this particular world. But the hate, the evil, the devil, the demons, the darkness, the fuckery, the foolery, the corruption, we live in a time where good is bad and bad is good, where lust is running rampant, where succubus and incubus are running amok, where all of this just low vibrating fucked off energy is dominating. It requires us to tap into these activations with more strength and tenacity. It is hard to function in this world when you have hate mongers, evil people. They don't know how to handle you. You don't know how to handle them. The pressure, the hate, everything, the whole energy that happens when you come together. You tell me how that's bliss. You tell me how that's liberty and the pursuit of happiness and joy. You tell me. I know the elephants are looking at us like, damn, the animals are like, y'all can't get it right for shit. Y'all just can't get it right. I know the animals just be like, SMH, WTF, when they look at us. I say that because the giraffes stay with the giraffes, the elephants stay with the elephants, the tigers with the tigers, the lions with the lions, the turtles with the turtles, the bears with the bears, the antelopes with the antelopes, the armadillos with the armadillos, the raccoons with the raccoons, the birds with the birds, snakes with snakes, worms with worms. Why is it that we don't know how to pair up properly, but the animals do? It's an all-out war in the animal kingdom. It's set against set. It's animals against animals. Y'all seen it. You know what it is. But when they mate with their own kind. They are involved with their own kind. They stick to their band, their pride, their flock, their swarm. They stick. And it works. Because there's still elephants. There's still tigers. There's still bears. There's still, like, the reproduction is still flowing. The only time I've ever seen some fucked up shit in the animal kingdom was through cartoons with the Wuzzles. I don't know what age you are, but there was a cartoon, Google it, called the Wuzzles, where there was animals that were mixed with everything. It was just all kind of shit. Just mixed with tiger, mixed with turtle, just all kind of just fuckery, just weird shit going on. And if you look at it now, it's just like, you know, image projection and influence has been going on ever since, you know, radio, TV. It's been going on forever. So I'm not going to dumb down the fact that when I was sitting in front of the tube as a child, that there were suggestions that were planted in the cartoons that I was watching. Because I can go back and look at them now and be like, oh, wow. Okay? Excuse me. So outside of that, I see things, how things were created, and God created everything perfectly. He made no mistakes. None. Not a one. And for all you people who like to say that God made a mistake, you're a liar. And the truth is not in you. It needs to be in you, but it's not in you. You cannot say around me that God has made a mistake. That although you came out this way, that it should have been a different way. God makes no mistakes. None. If you have a problem with it, take it to him. Because he's going to protect me. He doesn't make mistakes. Everything that he has made, it wasn't a mistake. Your hair, your tone, your looks, everything. It's you. It's you. And the efforts to assimilate into a world, into a nation that don't fuck with us in totality is treason. We don't have to hate them in a way to where we are inciting violence and being ruthless. I'm all about a righteous revolution now. But we don't have to be how fucked off they are. We don't have to have that energy that they got. We don't have to be like that. We got to be about it and stand our ground and let them know that they can't fuck with us. I mean, and I think they know that. But we don't have to be like them. We don't have to spend hours upon hours thinking of ways to enslave people and set people up and put people into captivity in deeper levels in different facets of life, and economically freeze their liberties, and create trials and tribulations and go and pay for spell work for things to happen to the village. We don't gotta be like them. There is danger on the other side. Anybody can seem like a nice person. He seemed like a nice guy. That's the fucking illusion. Wake up. I need y'all to wake up. I need you literally to come out of elementary remedial thinking and sober up your thoughts, because there is a devourer out here. There is a lion out here. There's an enemy out here who seeks to kill, who seeks to destroy, who seeks to dismember and to defile the village. These men did not love our sisters properly. Can you agree? Did they love our sisters properly? Was there romance that was consistent, that was legitimate, that was righteous? Are they still alive to this day? How nice were these guys? You listen to it. Some of you right now, literally, are in a relationship and you're headed for doom because you're on the other side. The greatest lesson I have learned, one of the greatest lessons I've ever learned while I've been walking on this journey about myself, is that I have to love me. And I have to heal me. I have to, in spite of what has been projected to me, in spite of what I have experienced, I am called to heal. I'm called to heal. Not only, of course, other people, but myself. I'm called to heal. I am called to battle through it. Be a warrior. To get to the land of upright. I'm called to climb. I'm called to go through the valley. It's the journey. It's the journey. And I have wanted what you have wanted when you were looking at the movies. I've seen them. I know what it is. That's why I'm able to speak on it. But I know that that's not real. I know that I can't go out there searching for something that's scripted. I know that I don't know better than the Most High God and Yah. I don't. Without the Most High God and Yah, I am lame. And I have experienced different variations of men. Some with the same energy, some not. And you know what I found out? The problem was me. Me. Until I accepted my melanin, I was the problem. my looks, everything about me until I accepted it. Because the energy of not being able to accept yourself, they can smell it and they will treat you how you treat yourself. It doesn't matter what age you are. However you treat yourself, that's what you will attract. People play on emotions. They play on your childhood confessions, your vulnerabilities, your voids. And it's not right, but there are maniacs, monsters, demons in this present world, lurking online and off, in your neighborhood and in mine, in high places and in not, that mean you no good and me no good. And one thing that people are searching for is love, acceptance. They have a vision board that said 5 years ago they were supposed to have a husband. You got your heart broken by a black man 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. Okay? I'm not saying what they did to you was wrong, but I am saying you still got to stay strong. Some of you say, I got my heart broken by a Gemini. I'll never date a Gemini again. You go around saying, hey, what's your sign? And if they say Gemini, I don't do Gemini. And have you ever noticed that all the signs do the same shit? We're humans. Do the same shit. Same shit. There comes a time where we have to say, I'm okay with being a sister. I'm okay with being a brother. I'm okay. I'm okay. You're seeking acceptance from a world that was not set up to accept you. This world rejected your creator. This world doesn't like the sons and daughters of the Most High God and Yah. The dangers of dating on the other side. He seemed like a nice guy, but he was no different. You're going to keep running into karmic men. The type of brothers that you were dating versus the type of brothers that you could be attracting is all in the work, in the forgiveness, in the healing. Otherwise, you will find yourself saying some reckless things about our brothers, and you make the other side cheer, agree, join in. Love is not love. Love is a gift. Love is perfect. Love is kind. Love is peaceful. Love is not chaotic. Love doesn't put crosses in the front of your home burning. Love doesn't hang people from a tree. Love doesn't lynch. Love does not barbecue, decapitate, sick German shepherds, spit, beat, bludgeon, belittle, outcast, hate, insult your features. tie a cotton gin around your neck, rape, pillage, plunge, and kill off an entire tribe of Native Americans, my people, your people. Love does not do that. Love does not slaughter. We are living in a climate where tension is at an all-time high. And they say that Black Lives Matter. That entire statement has caused more problems than solutions. If you say, sister, that Black Lives Matter, when? Not while you're on the other side. Some white men only want you because you are nothing more than a fucking fantasy. You hear me? A fantasy. And some of you try to make yourself look as European as you can in that relationship. When if that's what he wanted, he could go get a real white woman, not you. I don't know about you, but I want a man who understands why I have braids. I want a man who understands the essence of why I am a Black woman, why I am a sister. I want a man who can feel me and understand what it is to be who we are. Someone who can understand that I know that the Most High God is Black, and he does too. I can't live in a home where my man thinks that Jesus is that the Most High God is white, and I'm over here, knowing that the Most High God is. I can't live in an unequally yoked relationship, and it's not just about he likes cat, I like cats. His favorite color is yellow, my favorite color is yellow. It's about it's about a deep spiritual connection that is innate, locked in. That if you aren't it, you won't have it type of thing, okay? I'll be right back after this commercial break. You've made it to the last part of the test, the season of drought, and you survived. You're going to pass this test. You're going to climb the mountain because on the other side of the mountain is peace, joy, tranquility, harmony, freedom. No longer are you going to have to be frustrated, wondering when is it going to happen? When is my breakthrough going to come? When is what I believe in going to manifest? How long do I have to sit here in hermit mode? How long do I have to sit here and pretend? Not much longer. You might as well go ahead and start getting your praise on now, because permanent overflow is coming. You're closer to it than you think. Slingshot season. This is Sister Speak with a word of encouragement. Spiritual warfare is real, and it is slingshot season. That's right. You are prepared for this. It is time for you to defeat the bears, the lions, and the giants in your life. You are stronger than what you think, and when you are chosen, you are anointed. No longer can you operate in the spirit of fear, and no longer can your boundaries be attacked. Carnal weapons produce carnal results. Spiritual weapons produce spiritual results. Get your smooth stones and your slingshot ready, because being victorious and more than a conqueror is a part of your lineage. Because our cousin David was about that life. Your enemy's plans are deterred, decapitated, and destroyed. Be encouraged. Brotherhood, sisterhood, leadership. Those are the qualities that you were looking for when you were joining, not humiliation. The latest episode of The Culture Climate on the Sister Speak show is available on demand now. Rated R for strong content, language, and thoughts on this episode. Death before degree, hazing in fraternities and sororities. On The Culture Climate, we're covering what others are afraid to cover in the village, including controversial conversations, taboo subject matters, addressing the inner me's, exposing the enemies, interviews, audio from video clips, international, national, local news affecting the village. Click the link for the latest episode on the Sister Speak show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action, a talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Remember, you don't have to die to belong. You just took playing That's My Car to a whole nother level. The latest episode of the Tour on the Sister Speak show is available on demand now. Rated R for strong content, language, and thoughts. On this episode, jacking for more than beats, the effects of GTA and rap music, confessing to crimes over beats, lyrics leading to arrest. On the tour, we're covering all aspects of the music industry, including interviews with musicians, managers, songwriters, producers, music groups, DJs, and exclusive music and concert reviews. Either you're playing the video game or the video game is playing you. Click the link for the latest episode on the Sister Speak show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action, a talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Be careful. Welcome back. You're listening to The Culture Climate on the Sister Speak show. Ooh, and right when I was playing that jacking commercial, y'all, the police sirens is going off in the background for real, like right now, like confirmations. I appreciate all the confirmations that I get. You know, I really do. And then they stop. Oh, they ain't coming this way. No, I'm just playing. No, but seriously, brothers and sisters, you know, I am so serious about what I say. I'm a bold podcast. I mean well. I make no apologies, because when somebody seems like a nice person, you know, you want to believe them, but we have been given the gift of discernment to try the spirit by the spirit. The last thing that we need to be involved in is anything where we are having to deal with false prophets, false men, false women, right? And that's why the gift of discernment and wisdom is so precious. That's why having the Most High God and Yah in your life is so imperative, because you need that covering, you need that guidance, you need that GPS, you need your ancestors and angels to help you, okay? Because sometimes we like to put we have our desires, right? And they're okay, but you have them, you expect them to come at the time that you expect them to come and manifest. And there's nothing wrong with having a vision, but ultimately it's the Most High God's decision on what He's going to give you, who He's going to give you, and when He's going to give it to you. And I would rather have someone who's created all men be the one to lead me or to tell me where to be, to where I can meet who is my divine soulmate, my kingdom spouse. Because at this point, can we both agree that You and I have made decisions that are not for our greater good back in the day and maybe even currently when it comes to men in particular. And we have chosen some situations that is just like, fuck. You know what I mean? And then 5 years later or 10 years later, you're able to look back and you're like, what type of crap was I snugging? Who was my pusher? Was it Nino Brown? Because, baby, you wouldn't give them a time of day now. I was over here wrestling with this microphone. You wouldn't even give them the time of day right now. Okay? But so can we just be real and say, if you have grown from your choices when you were younger, and you know for a fact that you wouldn't be in that environment and you would not deal with that type of guy anymore, can you also admit that there were some things that were a little fucked off about you too? that you were off. And that with some healing, with some growth, you're in a better place and you make healthier decisions. It's about our decisions, it's about where we are in life. And you think that the remedy is, okay, I'm going to run over here to the other side for whatever reason, and that's just not the answer. Some of you are doing it to get back at black men. You're leading this silent war, this protest, and you're like, yeah, I'm going to make every black man mad, and I'm going to go over here and I'm going to team up with the op. Unhealed. Some of you don't want to put mercurochrome on the healing, on the cut. And you need mercurochrome. Now, yes, mercurochrome stings like shit. It's that type of ointment, liquid ointment where, not liquid ointment, it can't be ointment liquid. It's like a liquid solvent medical solution that burns like shit, and you have to ask somebody to blow on it after they apply it. I remember when I was little, I would fall. I'd be like, fuck. I'd be mad that I failed. You know, some kids fall, they'd be like, oh yeah, I get a Band-Aid. Hell no, I know I'm finna get some mercurochrome, a lecture, and a Band-Aid. And I'm gonna be told to go to sleep. And when that mercurochrome would come out, you already knew what it was. And you could just see that red drop come down on your scar, your scratch, your cut. You crying because you scrubbed, crying because you fell, for real, wounded, like ain't coming back outside, bike mangled, chain and fell off the bike, pedal loose, just wounded, just outside whooped your ass. And here you are coming inside, and you already know that your parents is either going to, one, pick up one of them damn old solutions from their Alabama recipe book, or two, it's going to be the mercurochrome or peroxide. Peroxide is another, peroxide, bubbling, itching, stinging, and the first thing, why is it stinging? Because it's working. The shit. So you're crying because of the mercurochrome stinging. You're crying because you fell. Crying because your mama ain't letting you go back outside. Have you ever busted your ass and still want to go back? I still want to play. I don't want to go to bed. All your friends looking at you. You just an embarrassment. They can hear you from outside talking about, I want to go back outside. Meanwhile, teeth. You done lost your first tooth and your tooth wasn't loose. Your elbow is dangling. Pony knockerballs all busted up. But you still want to go outside and play. No. You need to sit this one down and heal. You hit the concrete hard. Your bike is even in ICU. Your bike is like, fuck you. I'm not going back out there. You're not finna have me out there in front of all those BMX bikes and all those other bikes and you think I'm finna be out there with you? Look what you did to me. Now your bike is literally in a coma. But you want to get back outside and do it again. You ain't ready to come inside and heal. And it just can't be that way. You have got to heal. That's the only way you're going to be able to see the marvelous light in your own tribe, in these brothers, and give these brothers a chance. There's so many good-looking, high-vibrating brothers out here. They're hiding because they're scared. They're scared of you. They're scared of you. They don't want to get hurt, but they're loyal. They're loyal to the sisters. They're hiding. They don't want to go over to the other side. They know it's dangerous, and they're just waiting for God to say, there she is. There she is. Miss All Shades of Brown 2022. Brothers and sisters, the time has been well spent. I thank you so much for being a wonderful listening audience. I hope you all are encouraged by tonight's episode. If it offended you, it is what it is. I don't care. I have an assignment, and I'm expecting, I hope I get an A+ on my assignment. Tonight's message is clear as water should be. The danger on the other side. He seemed like a nice guy. No matter who, and even like, I'm not even going to say that. I'm not even going to say that. I retract what I was just getting ready to say. I want you to be encouraged. I want you to love yourself. Date yourself. Groom yourself. Have better hygiene. Set yourself up to slowly build up a new wardrobe. Comb your hair. Some of you spend more time combing your bundles and your wig, and you spend very little time combing your natural hair. That's a problem. You have abandoned and neglected your natural hair, and you spend more maintenance on somebody else's hair that's on your head, in whichever way it was installed. Shout out to the sisters who have embraced their natural hair, who understand what it is, who have been delivered from that pseudo-confidence, and you are on your healing journey concerning your identity and accepting how you were made, and only just doing things to beautify this wonderful canvas before our eyes. You live by the booger wolf, you die by the booger wolf. Brothers and sisters, I really love y'all. I really appreciate y'all. You mean so much to me. Y'all really, really do. I thank you for being so wise. I thank you for being faithful. And I thank you for wanting to, come up out of your own fuckery. We all got to come up out of our own fuckery, okay? I don't say anything that does not apply to me. And I am strategic in what I say. I'm strategic in the clips that I play. I'm strategic in all that I do. But one thing that I'm not going to ever walk away from is my assignment. Okay? Stop creating more snares for the village. Until you do right by the village, everything you think about is going to fail. I return to sender all negative energy, all spell work, all voodoo, all black magic, all evil eye magic, and I mirror it back into your bosom 100-fold. And it has an adverse effect immediately in your bosom. It affects not only the sender, but it affects the practitioner as well. You're not welcome in my energy field. I call back my power and my energy. ancestors. You have my full permission to handle my enemies. I'm divinely protected. So is my listening audience. The Lord is my rock, my fortress, and my deliverer. My God, my rock, in whom I take refuge. My shield and the horn of my salvation, my stronghold. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Don't let the fever catch you.